Today's daf is Masechus Nedarim, daf Samach Gimel. So we just finished the Mishnah on Samach Beis and Beis. The Mishnah said if somebody says Ad HaKotzir or until Ad Shi Geshamim, we had Machlokes or Shem Gamliel. And then we had a little piece of Gemara. Now we're up to the two dots. So it's going on the Mishnah. The Mishnah says Ad Geshamim. So it says that he's answering himself, Kainim Yayin Shani Toyim Ad Geshamim. Or he says Achi Hu Geshamim. The halacha is Achatei Reviya Shniya until the second rain comes down. His Asar Rabbi Shmuel says that the actual rain does not actually have to come down. It's only Asar Ad Zaman Reviya Shniya. Zok Tehela Gemara Amar Abzera says Machlokes. So we are the second to bottom line, very first word on the line. Amar Abzera Machlokes. This machlokes between Chacham and Shem Gamliel is only the Amar Ad Hageshamim. He says Ad Hageshamim. So that's when the Chacham hold that you say he means that actual rain has to come down. Amar Ad Hageshem, that everyone agrees Ad Zman Geshamim Kamer, and then it's only until the time that Geshamim comes down, but Geshamim doesn't have to actually rain. Zok the Gemara vayt. Frek the Gemara on these words are Abzera. Meisvei, we learned in a Brisa, Ezei's mana shall reveal when is the times that it rains. There's 3 times that it rains. So you have Habachira, which is the Review Rishona, it's the first time it rains. B'shloisha, that's on the 3rd day of Cheshvan. Beininis is the second one. B'shiva, it's the 7th day of Cheshvan. Afila, which is the last one called Afila, that's Be'eser Mishlosh, the 23rd day of Cheshvan. Divrei Remeir, that's Shitas Remeir. Rabbi Yehuda says B'shiva u'b'shiva Asar. On the 7th, the 17th, and the 23rd. Rabbi Yossi says B'shiva Asar on the 17th, Be'eser Mishlosh on the 23rd of Cheshvan, U'b'Rosh Chodesh Kislev and Rosh Chodesh Kislev. So there's 3 dishitas. And so Rabbi Yossi also said, Ein hayechidim is'ana chigia Rosh Chodesh Kislev. Talmidei Chavim that are distinct in their maisim, they do not fast only until Rosh Chodesh Kislev comes, which that is Zman of the Reviya Shlishas, the 3rd rain. And if that passes, then Geshamim still did not rain, then they fast. So that is this brisa. 3 sheets in the brisa. V'amrina Allah Bishloima and the Gemara is going to bring in nafkamina. What's the difference between all these 3 reviews? So Bishloima review Rishayna Lishael. So the first review is like the Gemara is because when you have to start saying the same Talmud in davening, and Shlishis, and the 3rd one is nafkamina les anois for when we said that Talmidei Chacham fast. Ela Shniya Lamai, what's the difference in the Reviya Shniya? What is an nafkamina? Amar B'zera la Noider. Nafkamina is if somebody says Noider, he says Kainim Yayin Zelai, Kain Shani Time Yayin Ad Hageshamim. So we say it means the Torah Reviya Shniya, since we say that his intention is for the middle, right? V'amrina Allah, Kamanas lahad Tanim Shem Gamliel Oimer Gesham Shiar Shiva Yom Zachar Zeh Atamoida Behen Reviya Rishona Ushniya. So who's this going like? This says in the Rabbi Shmuel says that sometimes it rains one time and then 7 days later it'll rain again. Command Rabbi Yossi. So Zak Gemara, who's this going like? It must be going like Command Rabbi Yossi. This Rabbi Shmuel saying this halacha. Why? Because Rabbi Yossi says in the Mishnah the 17th, 23rd, and Rosh Chodesh, so 7 days apart. So it seems like the Gemara doesn't really explain what the kasha is, but it seems like the Gemara is asking that the Gemara is assuming Rabbi Shmuel saying his halacha that if it rains 7 days apart, then it's considered Rishona and Shniya already came, and that's going according to Shitas Chachamim that say in the Mishnah, if somebody says Ad Geshamim, that it doesn't have to rain at all, and it's enough Zigiya Zman. But however, if it so the Chacham said in the Mishnah that it actually has to rain. Shimon Leil is the one that said in the Mishnah does not have to rain. So the Gemara understood he's saying even according to the Chachamim, it actually has to rain. If it rains 7 days apart, it's considered that both Revius came, and if he made a nether, his nether would be up because it's already as if the second rain came. So the Gemara understood, or Shimon Leil saying this din even when he says. When he said this din when he's told when he uses the lashon and says ad hageshem, and the Gemara is asking if it's true like Reb Zera that if somebody says ad hageshem is asur until the Revi'ah Shniya and it does not have to rain, actually even l'shitz chacham when he used specifically the word ad hageshem like Reb Zera said, so ibazoi. Why did Reb Shimon Gamliel say that the chacham going to be moed to him that if the Gesham comes down, Zman Revi'ah Rishayna until Shniya 7 days apart, l'chayra, you don't need to have the second Revi'ah, and it's just enough that the time comes. According to Reb Zera, everybody would agree if you say Ad Geshem, it's enough that the time comes. So why did Shimon Gamliel have to go so far and say that that it's as if if it rains twice apart, then it's as if the Rishon came l'chayra. If it's so bad Ad Geshem, according to Reb Zera, it didn't have to actually rain. It was enough that just the time came for it to rain, the second rain. Okay, so after the Gemara, Huda Amar Ad Geshem. That Avada Reb Zera is correct. That's what he said. No, he said that Ad Geshem, even according to Shitz Chachamim, you only asr until the time of Revi'ah Shniya, and the actual rain does not have to come down. But the Gemara is saying that this Reb Shmuel said, told Chachamim, that he said that he said that according to Chachamim, which Tim is talking about in the case where he said Ad Geshem, did not say Ad Geshem. And then the Chacham would hold that it actually has the mamash rain down, and on that, Shmuel said that if it rained 7 days apart, 7 days one after another, then it's considered 2 Revi'ahs came, and he's mashal b'zman of the nether. Okay. So the Tana is going to discuss what's the halacha with an Iber Yarchad Iber L'Gabin Nedarim. Okay, so if somebody is in the beginning of a year and he says Kodim Yayin Sheini Tayim L'Shana, he's answering Yayin himself that he's not going to taste it for the year, and it's Ad Rashana. What happens if it turns into an Iber Yar? So we don't just say that it's Asr only 12 months like a regular year. Asr Ba'al Bibur is Asr even in the leap year. Adresh Chodesh Adar. What happens if he's standing in the middle of a Shana Mubaris and he asks himself something Adresh Chodesh Adar? Halacha is so the question is which Adar is it Adar Aleph Adar Beis Adresh Chodesh Adar Rishon. There's Adresh Chodesh Adar Rishon. If he says Ad Soif Adar, then we say he means Ad Soif Adar Rishon. Why? Because we say Stam Lashmanei Adam is Mashma Adar Rishon unless specifically the guy says that he means the second Adar. Zok the Gemara, Alma Stama da Adar Kamar. You see that Alma Stama da Adar Kamar Rishon. You see from the Mishnah, from the Lach of the Mishnah, the fact that he's only that if he says Adar Rosh Adar, then he's also Rosh Adar Rishon. You see that Stama Adar Kamar is Rishon. It's only the first Adar. So Zok the Gemara, Leim Asnis Rabbi Yehuda. He says that the din of the Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda, Tanya. We saw in the Brayos of the Machlekes or Meir and Yehuda Lagabi Shtaris. If somebody wants to write a shtar, that if he's an Adar Rishon, then he has to write clearly Adar Rishon, and if he's in Adar Sheni, then he just writes Adar Stam. Why? Because Stam Lashmanei Adam is Adar Sheni. Different Meir. That's the words of Meir. Rabbi Yehuda argues. Rabbi Yehuda says if he's an Adar Rishon, then he writes Stam. And Adar Sheni, Kosef Tinyan, he writes the second one. While Stam Lashmanei Adam is Adar Rishon. So you find clearly it's Machlekes Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir in this Mishnah. So what do you see from this Mishnah? That Stam Adar is Adar Rishon, according to Shittas Rabbi Yehuda. So from our Mishnah, you see that it's going Shittas Rabbi Yehuda, that's Stam Adar Adar Rishon. So the Gemara, Amar Abaya, no, I could be Daichit. I feel the Tamer Rameir, I can tell you it's even going Shittas or that Rameir, even which that Rameir over there is Mashmat Stam Adar, is Adar Sheni, and I can mechalak between that Mishnah and our Mishnah. Why? Because the Brisa. Mechalak in the Brisa, which is Machlek Zebehuda and Rameir and our Mishnah. Why? Because this Rameir says Stam Adar is Adar Sheni, the Yada de Me'aber Shata, and he knows B'Shas is Neder that it's going to be Iber. And when he knows that it's going to be Iber, then his Stam Adar is Adar Sheni. But de Lo Yada, our Mishnah is talking about that. The reason why Mishnah is Stam Adar is Adar Rishon is because it's telling you he doesn't know B'Shas is Neder that the Shana is going to be a Shana Mubarak, and therefore we say his Kavana is only after Shvat, which is Adar Rishon. And the Gemara brings a raya to this from the Brisa. Why? Because v'hatanya, we see like this in a Brisa. They sefta perigdal halachavav. If somebody says Kayim Yain Shani Toyim Adrish Chodesh Adar, the halacha is Adrish Chodesh Adar Harishon. If Hoysa Shana Muberes Adrish Chodesh Adar Hasheni. If the leap year is also until Rosh Chodesh Adar Hasheni, it's like Zok the Gemara Machlal, you see from the fact that it says Im Hoysa Shanu Mu'beres, so you see in the Sefer, you see that the Reish is La Mu'beres skin. The Reish is not talking about Mu'beres, rather it's talking about it's not Mu'beres. So the Gemara is asking, it doesn't make sense, because the Reish says clear Adrish Chodesh Adar Harishon. So if it's saying Rishon, obviously it's the second one, so the Reish is talking about Mu'beres. So, because a year is not Mubarak, you don't have a Rishon Hasheni. So, Elamai, what's the pshat? The difference in the Rishon Sefer. Shema Mina, the Sefer tells you also in Torah Chodesh Adar Hasheni is talking about the Pshita Leidem Abrashata. He knows that it's going to be Eber Yor B'Shais, he makes his nether, and that's why when he says Adar, he means Adar Hasheni. But the Reish is talking about that he B'Shas Nether, he doesn't know that it's going to be Eber Yor, and his Kavanah is Adar Rishon, and therefore it's only Asr until Adar Rishon. So the Gemara is bringing a raya to, like we actually said before in the Taretz. Okay, so now up to new Mishnah, and this Mishnah, the Mishnah is going to bring Shitas of Tanam, that there is ways that you could explain a nether different than it sounds like initially in the Pashas. Because we have different umdanas that tell us that the noider's mind, his intention was for that specific thing. So let's see. Says the Mishnah, Yehuda says, if somebody says, I'm asking the yain, I'm not going to taste it until Pesach will come. So, although his lashon is mashma until Pesach finishes, and we say al leil Pesach. We say that his kavan is only until the night of Pesach, the first night, and he does not want to answer himself. Only wants to answer himself until it's normal for people to drink wine. But the first night of Pesach is normal; everybody drinks arba kaises. Avada leil Pesach, that he does not want to. We have a umdana that he does not want to answer himself that. And more than that, Dr. Yehuda, Omar koinim basar sheni toim achi atzayim. It says I do not want to taste meat until it should be the fast day, Yom Kippur. So although it's mashma until after Yom Kippur finishes, any asar allowed leilit tzayim. It's only asar until Erev Yom Kippur. Why? Because the umdana, we say shalin eschaven zel achosh and derech nadam lechal basar. He's only mischaven. He only has intent to ask himself with the nether until it's normal people to eat meat. That since people eat a basar in a Suda Erev Yom Kippur, we say he did not have a mind to ask himself with this. Rabbi Yosi Benoi, Rabbi Yosi, the son of Rabbi Yehuda, is Mosif on this that Rabbi Yehuda says, and he says, if somebody says he's asking garlic totally Shabbos, only also until the night of Shabbos, because we say that tells normal people to eat shum, and when is that? That's Shabbos, Friday night, and immediately is only also shum until Friday night, till Shabbos night. Zogt the Mishnah weiter. Ha'imar l'chavera, if somebody tells his friend, koinim shani nena l'cha. So ha'imar l'chavera, koinim shani nena l'cha. If somebody tells his friend that I'm asking on you, that the hana from you should be asr on me with a neder, and I'm not going to have hana from you. Im ein at ba v'noitel levanecha kurechat shochitim mishtecha v'shayayin. Unless you take for your kid, for your children, 1 kur of chitim and 2 barrels of wine. So, although it's mashma from his words that if he does not take it, then he'll become asr and hana from him. We call makam ereza yachal hafaras nidre shalei pi chacham. You can make for his neder shalei pi chacham. V'yomer lo nikatam klum amarta elab nikfodi. I only want to. The only reason why I said the neder is only because of my covet that I wanted to. The only reason I made a neder is because it was for my covet, because I wanted to look like a chashav a guy. It should look like I'm chashav in your eyes if you take from me. And he could say, he can make a pesach to another and mefer by saying, "Zeu kavod, this is my covet." That I'll have more covet by the fact that to see that you do not want to be makabel from me. Whatever I wanted to gift you. V'chein ha'imar l'chaver konim sha'at nenesli. If he says hana from me should be asar on you and should not have hana, im ein ataba ba v'noisel b'ni kur shachidim shtei chavashayin. If you don't come and give my son 1 kur chidim shtei chavashayin, so then you have machlokes Rameir chacham. Rameir oimer asar chita. It's taka asar until he gives it to his son. Chacham oimer af zeh. Over here also the man could say yachal hafers nidr shlei pi chacham, and he could say v'yomer lo hare ani kilus kabbalis, as if I accepted it and I could taka have hana and the nether's not chal, without going to Chacham. Hayim Sarev, another halacha here. If he was on his case, lost his basa chaysai, to marry the daughter of his sister, his niece, va'amar kainim shehinan l'olam, and he said, my hana should be asar on her forever, and she won't be able to have enough from me, this niece. V'china megarish is ishtoi. V'china megarish is shavay mekoyim ishti nanasli. He was divorcing his wife, and he says, wife can never have enough from him forever. Harei mutaris lahanis loy. So the mission that they're allowed to have other hanois. Why? Because the whole neder, we say the guy's kavano is umdano that it's muchach. The only reason why I made the neder is because he did not want to marry these people, but he did not have intent to asr other anos. So the only isra ano we say is in his neder is only isra of ishus. Another halacha, he's trying to tell his friend that he should eat by him. He was asking to eat by him. Amar koinim lebeischa shani nechnas. And he said this house should be asar on me with a neder, that I can't go in there. Tipa soinin shani toim lecha. Even a little bit of cold should be asar on me. And he was saying, meaning he didn't want to go in and have yana or drink anything. So although the guy said clearly that he does not even want to taste a drip from there of something cold, the halacha is motor lekanas lebeis delicious menutzanin is allowed to go into his house and drink something cold. Why? Because they say so umdana that the guy didn't want to eat by his friend's house. So the only reason I made a neder, I'm not going to take even a tipa seinin, is only because he wants to stay away from his house, because his friend was making him crazy to eat there. But his whole, we say there's a umdana, his kavana was only to asar himself from going to his friend's house, because he did not want to go in there, but it's only to go in there and sit down and eat and drink. But to be toyim, a tipa saina, a tiny drop of something cold, that we say is a umdana he did not have, is not included in his neder. Hadran Allah kain yain.